Good day. Welcome to News Express. A political revelation from Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso is once again reigniting conversations about opposition unity, missed opportunities, and the future of Nigeria's political landscape ahead of the 2027 election. During an interview on Arise Television, Kwankwaso disclosed that his daughter had urged him to work together with Peter Obi during the 2023 presidential election period, a statement that immediately triggered widespread reactions across social media and political cycles. At first glance, the comments may have appeared simple and personal, but in the current political climate, where discussions about alliance and opposition cooperations are intensifying once again, the statements carried far deeper political significance. For many Nigerians, especially younger voters, who strongly supported opposition movements in 2023, the revelation reopened one of the most emotionally charged political debates of the last election cycle. What could have happened if major opposition figures had united instead of contesting separately? The 2023 election remains one of the most discussed elections in recent Nigerian history because it transformed political participation, especially among young Nigerians. Millions of voters became politically active in ways that surprised even experienced political observers. Social media turned into a major political battleground. New political movements gained national visibility, and issue-based conversations become more dominant than many traditional political calculations expected. Within that atmosphere, calls for cooperation between opposition figures became extremely common. Across digital platforms, supporters repeatedly argued that a fragmented opposition would make it easier for established political structures to maintain control. Many believe that a stronger alliance among major opposition candidates could potentially create a broader national coalition capable of reshaping the electoral map. It is within this context that Kwankwaso's statement has gained renewed attention. According to him, even inside his own household, there were discussions about the importance of working together with Peter Obi. His daughter's position reflected a wider political sentiment among many younger Nigerians who were less concerned about party differences and more focused on the idea of strategic unity. That generational difference is important because it reveals how political thinking is gradually changing in Nigeria. Older political structures have traditionally been shaped by regional calculations, party loyalty, and long-established alliance. Younger voters, however, are increasingly driven by concerns about governance, economic hardship, insecurity and unemployment, and political accountability. This shift has transformed political discussions, especially online, where younger Nigerians continue to dominate national conversations. Another reason the revolution resonated so strongly is because it harmonized political decision-making. Political leaders are often viewed as operating entirely through formal negotiations, elite consultations, and strategic calculations. Kwankwaso's comments briefly revealed a more personal dimension, showing that political conversations also happen within families, among children, spouses, and close relatives who experience the country's realities just like ordinary citizens. The statements also revived broader discussions about the consequence of opposition fragmentation. Supporters of coalition politics continue to argue that the ability of opposition leaders to unite in 2023 weakened the possibility of creating a stronger electoral challenge. According to this perspective, divided votes across multiple candidates reduce the chances of consolidating widespread public frustration into a single political movement. However, others caution against oversimplifying Nigerian politics. Elections in Nigeria are influenced by far more than online enthusiasm or public sentiment. Regional structures, grassroots mobilization, party machinery, financial networks, and strategic alliance all play decisive roles in shaping outcomes. While social media conversations strongly favored opposition unity, translating those discussions into practical political agreements would likely have involved extremely difficult negotiations. Political alliances in Nigeria are rarely straightforward. They often require compromises over leadership positions, regional balance, party structures, and long-term political interest. Even when political actors share similar goals publicly, internal calculations and competing ambitions can make lasting agreements difficult to achieve. This is one reason coalition politics in Nigeria has historically been both attractive and complicated at the same time. Still, the continued public interest in Kwankwaso's comments demonstrates that the conversation about opposition unity has not disappeared. If anything, it has become even stronger ahead of 2027. As political actors reposition themselves and new alliances begin forming quietly behind the scenes, many Nigerians are once again debating whether opposition figures will eventually move towards broader cooperation. Social media has amplified these conversations dramatically. Short clips from interviews now spread across platforms within minutes, turning political comments into national debates almost instantly. Kwankwaso's statement quickly became part of a much larger online discussions about missed opportunities, future alliance, and whether the political environment ahead of 2027 could look different from previous election cycles. The economic situation in the country is also shaping these discussions. Rising hardship, inflation, unemployment, and public frustration have intensified demands for political alternatives. In periods of economic pressure, voters often become more open to coalition politics and strategic alliance if they believe such cooperation could increase the chances of meaningful political change. At the same time, established political parties remain powerful and deeply structured across the country. Opposition cooperation alone will not automatically guarantee electoral processes. Political organization, grassroots presence, and strategic coordination will still remain essential. Nonetheless, the emotional power behind conversations about unity reflects how strongly many Nigerians continue to desire a more coordinated opposition approach. Another important dimension of the story is the symbolic role of younger voices in modern Nigerian politics. Kwankwaso's daughter became part of the national conversation, not because she held political office, but because of her comments reflected the frustrations and hopes of many young Nigerians who increasingly want politics to move beyond traditional divisions. This growing youth influence is reshaping political communication, campaign strategies, and public expectations in ways that continue to evolve. As the road to 2027 gradually takes place, discussions about alliance, coalition politics, and opposition strategy are likely to intensify further. Every meeting, consultation, and public sentiment will be closely analyzed for signs of possible cooperation or emerging political realignments. For now, however, Kwankwaso's revelation has already achieved something important. It has reopened a national conversation about what unity could mean in Nigerian politics and whether future elections may eventually produce stronger political coalition than those seen in the past. Because Sometimes, a single personal statement can reveal a much bigger national conversations quietly unfolding beneath the surface of politics. That's all for now on News Express. And to our amazing viewers, kindly like, subscribe, and share this video. I'm Chidera Esom. Thank you for watching. Do have a beautiful day.